Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we have a very special guest with us, Guncha Malik, who's an information security enthusiast, and she's working as a security architect with IBM. She has over 20 years of experience in the industry, wherein she is helping with the software security, with cyber security, and she's very passionate about spreading awareness about cyber security with the community. She has conducted many sessions on safe and secure online sessions for students in various schools and is looking forward to interacting with children of many other schools. So over to you, Guncha.
Thank you, Vanna. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be part of this InfoSec Girls Virtual Meet. This is the first time I'm appearing here, and I'm uh, very eager to interact with all the children around the world. All right, so I have been conducting this session for various schools, not only for the children, but also the parents, to help them understand what are the ways they can make sure that while they are enjoying various things over the internet, they can ensure that the children are protected at all times. So we'll take a quick look at how, what are the risks we have and what are the things we need to cater to while we are working online. So this is a presentation that is, this is a voluntary work by the organization called Center for Cyber Safety and Education. And I think that this is a very neglected topic, a topic which people don't really spend much time on. It is more important for everyone to get the work done, and they believe that they know everything about things, and it's okay if no one really looks at these small things that need to be taken care of. So I'm really passionate about this topic, and that is why I'm really glad that Panna did invite me for this session here. Now, when we are using the internet, there are various ways in which we can use the internet. It can be used for entertainment, it can be used for education, it can be used for gaming, and of course, connecting with friends and family. So there are many positive things that we get out of the internet. But we can always use a thing for the positive side, for the positive, in a positive way, and in the negative way as well. And there are certain elements, certain individuals who might try to misuse the internet, and those are the aspects that we need to be aware of and make sure that when we are enjoying and having fun over the internet, we keep ourselves protected. So today we are going to take a look at what are the different risks we have when we are using applications, the websites, anything over the internet. We need to understand the signs of danger so that we can identify those risks, we can make the right decisions, and that is what we're going to aim for today. Now, social media is a very, very important part of our lives now. Everything, the way we get information from our friends, the way we connect with our friends, the way we share with our friends, everything is generally happening over the internet, over the social media. And these social networks, uh, they store information, they enable you to share information. And what we have to understand is when we post anything online over the social media, that is going to stay forever. So whether it is a video or a photo or a text message, anything that we share is going to stay online forever. And the reason why I say it is going to stay online forever is because once you share it, anyone in your network has access to it. Now they can always download it or forward it themselves. So even if you feel after posting, you feel that you decide that this is not something you wanted to post, you delete it. Then also, if by then someone has already taken a snapshot of it or downloaded it or forwarded it, it's already out of your hands. And therefore it is very, very important that when we post something, we think about it before we post it, and make sure that we are not sharing any kind of personal information there. Some healthy tips to while you're working on social media: make sure your social media profiles are private. When you keep it private, you are only sharing messages with those who are connected in your network. Of course, they probably would have the flexibility of downloading it, forwarding it, but then at least if it is your trusted network, you know that what you're sharing is going to stay within that network. uh, Again, whenever you're posting online, anything you post online is going to stay forever. So make sure you're reviewing it, you're reading it, you're validating that this is exactly what you want to share, and you won't repent sharing it later. Do not make friends with strangers. It's easy to want to have friends, but then it's always good to know people before you actually friend them over the social media. Do not share any personal information, and always think before you post. Now, cyberbullying is a quite prevalent concern these days. This is only growing, I would say. And basically, cyberbullying is when someone is being intimidated, someone is being sent hurtful messages over the internet. And this is quite prevalent in schools as well, which is quite concerning. Children are creating videos, they are on social media, and in those on those platforms they are receiving quite hurtful messages, quite embarrassing messages, which is making the children really feel embarrassed and less confident about themselves. So it is very important to understand what cyberbullying is. It is very important to understand that you are not alone if you are being cyberbullied, and you can always reach out for help. Every country has their own laws and regulations, and they would have their police department which is looking into such criminal activities. So make sure that if you are being cyberbullied, or if you know someone who's being cyberbullied, please make sure that you help them reach out to at least one of the adults, and it can always be reported to the cybercrime division in that country, who can take action against the bullies. Now, if this happens to you, don't feel that you're alone. Very, very important. First thing you should be doing is blocking the individual who's cyberbullying. Next, you should be doing is taking a snapshot of the cyberbullying activity, so that if you have to go and report it to the cybercrime division, you are able to share this as an evidence. Also, please make sure that you're not replying to the bully or publicly, or even privately. Make sure you're reaching out to one of the adults who can intervene and stop the cyberbullying immediately. And if you see that this is happening to someone else, again, please do not reply to the bullies publicly. If the bully is your friend, you may reach out and just share the concern and say that you do not support this activity. And please make sure that you reach out to the victim, again, personally reach out to the victim and let them know that you're supporting them, and also help them to reach out to at least one of the adults, whether it is parents, whether it is teachers, whether it is elder siblings, anyone whom they feel comfortable with, who can help them coming out of this situation. It is observed that 90% of the time, 90% of the teens who are already witnessing cyberbullying, and if someone intervenes into the cyberbullying activity, it immediately stops. So please trust your adults to help you to come out of this situation. Now, as bystanders, as people who are not involved in the cyberbullying activity, please make sure that you're not contributing to it. It is very important, because if the victim ends up complaining and if you get involved, you could also have repercussions. Do not distribute any kind of hurtful messages on the social media or any other platform. Make the better use of these platforms to share messages, share information, share appreciation. Please do not try to get involved in any kind of hurtful comments or postings. When you're responding in public, please make sure that you do not aggressively respond or reply to any such hurtful messages. Be calm, and always make sure that you are able to end the discussion in a constructive way. If you believe that is not a possibility, then please do not reply. It's okay not to reply. It's okay to block the person, and it's okay to end the conversation right there. Again, respond privately if possible to the bullying friend, so that he or she understands that this is not an activity that you support, and offer support to the victim. Now, when we were talking about social media, we were talking about that whatever you post online is going to stay forever, and it definitely goes out of control. So at times, due to our interests or peer pressures, or in the interest of winning a popularity contest, we might just end up taking certain snaps of ourselves or certain videos of ourselves or of our friends, which might be very intimidate, and we probably would not want to share that publicly. If you are taking such snaps, if you're taking such videos and you're sharing over the internet to anyone, even if you're sharing it with one friend, not over the internet, just sending it to one friend, please make sure, please remember that this could go out of control. Your friend may be your trusted friend, and your friend probably will not share it with others. But what happens if your friend's phone or device is hacked, or if someone plays a prank with your friend and steals or reshares the photo from your friend's phone to others? It can be a very embarrassing, a very embarrassing situation, not only for yourself but also for your family and loved ones, and it could be quite hurting, and definitely it leads to losing of confidence as well. So please try to avoid taking any such snaps, not for yourself as well as not for your friends. Make sure you delete it as soon as it is taken for certain purpose, but try not to keep it online. Stay in control of your online image, very important, because um, once your photo goes over the internet, how it could be misused, we do not know. Certain individuals also try to morph the images. So if you don't really have to share, it's fine. It's not required to be shared. So you can decide whether you want to really share something or not over the internet. Make sure you're respecting your privacy as well as others' privacy. If your friend is not comfortable with sharing some post or some picture or some video, please do not share. Make sure you're taking permissions from anyone whose photo or information you're sharing online. And if you are coming across any bullies, please try to report them immediately. Okay, so now we are going to talk about a topic, geotagging. And generally, when I talk about this topic, this is something that children have not heard about. So geotagging is the concept of mapping, create a map of where an individual has been at what time. And based on that, a complete map can be generated, a complete route or information can be generated where the individual has been. And this can be done solely based on certain posts and pictures that are available online. And this is what geotagging is. Now, if I look at a simple picture here, what kind of information can a person really gain from out of this? And generally, when I ask children about this, children say, yeah, it is red color, we know that you like these kind of toys, and this is the only information we can get out of this. But when we actually look at the properties of this very naive image, we see that we can look at the date and time when this image was taken. We can see the model of the device that was used to take this picture, and we can also see the exact location of the individual where this picture was taken. And this information, when we actually post this image online, someone can download it. They can always see all this information, and they will know where exactly I have been. So if say I go for a vacation and I'm taking pictures everywhere, all this information is getting tagged into the photograph. And when I upload it to Facebook, when I upload it to any other social media, people can actually download and figure out where exactly I have been. Now, for predators who are really looking for stealing something from me, from my house, maybe they are just waiting for an opportunity when I'll be outside, my whole family will be outside, and they can just barge into my house and then steal whatever they are interested in. It can also be misused when children go out with their friends and they're having fun at some restaurants and they post these pictures. Predators do know that these children are outside and they know where exactly the child is. If they could actually call the parents of the child and say, your child is hurt, please come here soon. Or they can try and be friendly with your parents, saying that, yeah, I'm your child's friend's parent, and let's meet, etc. So just be careful about what you're posting online. I'm not saying that we should stop posting completely, but make sure what we are posting online and whether that is going to be misused by anyone in any way. Something we can definitely do is make sure that the geolocation for the camera on the device which we are using for taking the snaps, that is disabled. You can always find the instructions for iPhone and the Android OS online, and please make sure that it is deactivated not only for your mobile but also for your parents, your family members. Just make sure that it is disabled, and it can be enabled wherever you feel there is a need to attach the location information to an image, but otherwise please keep it disabled at all times. Now we come across Maria's story here. So Maria is quite interested in playing online games, and she meets someone called as Rocco 2019, and they start playing the game together. They have a lot of fun, and they start chatting. And one day Maria tells Rocco 2019 that she's planning to attend a summer concert, and Rocco 2019 says that yes, let's meet there. Now, generally, when children start playing games, there are of course there are online games and they meet people. It is not you can never say whom they're playing with. Now it could be that the person who's playing the game is of the same age as the child, but it could also be that an adult is posing as a child and playing that game. So you do not know who really is behind that username Rocco 2019. And it is very important that children understand when they're playing with strangers, they should not be befriending those strangers. They should not be chatting with those strangers. If they do end up chatting with those strangers, then they should ensure that the entire conversation is restricted to the game itself, and it should not go to divulging some personal information or anything about the family members as well. Try to use some usernames which are not going to pinpoint to yourself. Make sure that the children are uh, playing some age appropriate games, so that at least there are chances of only people of that age playing that game. Again, there is no guarantee, but if we follow certain etiquettes, I think the children will be safe there. Now, something that these games also provide is the option of spending currency, real currency, in order to get advantage in the games. It could be to either to up the level of the game, or it could be to get some in-game currency coins that can be used to further buy items within the game. Now, it might look very naive to just pay $5 or $10 for getting such an upgrade, but then we do not know how secure this game is and how secure the information or payment gateway would be. Or it could very well be that the idea is just to enable the gamer to input the credit card information, which can then be further misused by the hacker to siphon off money from your accounts. So be very careful about even such attempts to spend currency or get currency from you while playing the games. Make sure you're respecting others during playing the games. You want to treat them the way you would like others to treat you. Having usernames which don't pinpoint to you doesn't mean that you have the right to just um, behave right, whatever you like to do. So be respectful for others, and make sure that people are respectful for you as well. Okay, so we like to download a lot of softwares. These apps are generally useful for doing various activities. We also like to download a lot of music and videos at times. And generally, these things are generally free. But what happens is at times there are certain videos or certain music or certain apps that are not downloadable for free. And in order to get them for free, we tend to then go to certain sites which are not the genuine sites. Those sites can be just hosting the manipulated versions of these videos or files that you're looking for. But what could happen is that these versions of the files could actually embed a malware within them. So if you're downloading it from a site which is not the genuine site, not the reputable site, it may so happen that you end up downloading certain malware on your computer, which can then probably attempt to steal away information from your device, or it could probably be monitoring every keystroke that you're entering and then send that information back to the server, which can then be used by the hacker to log in into your various accounts or bank accounts that you're trying to log in into. So just be sure that when you're downloading content, you're downloading from the right sites, from the appropriate and reputable sites and vendors. Also, you could make sure that your antivirus is updated so that at least if the media that you're downloading or the file that you're downloading has virus, it can be scanned and reported by the antivirus software. Make sure that you always have strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. That is very important. So even if your password does get stolen away, your multi-factor authentication will protect your account from getting hacked. And when you're receiving any mails from anyone, make sure that you do not open attachments unless you are sure that this is an attachment you were expecting to come from a particular person. At times, what happens is when a person's account gets compromised, the malicious software might start sending certain mails to all the contacts of that person, along with an attachment which, when downloaded and opened, can actually compromise the other person's, the other contact's device as well. So that is why when you're receiving such mails, attachments, please make sure you open it only if you're expecting it. You can always cross-check by asking the individual if they had specifically sent that attachment and the purpose for it. Okay, so we all, this is again related to the downloaded file, but then here there is a software sharing, file sharing software, which is used for getting access to certain files. Now, when we allow such software to be used on our device, we are essentially also giving that software the access to steal or take the files from our device and share it with others. Now, these files that we are sharing or taking from others' computers are actually illegal. This is because it may be a pirated software, it can be a pirated music, it can be a pirated video. And if this is reported and it is and your name or your IP surfaces in that in this entire scam, uh, the police can actually contact you, and it can be very troubling, not only for yourself but also for your family members. So please make sure that you're not getting involved in any such activity. You're not downloading any software from these file sharing softwares, and make sure your parents are aware of it. If you do end up doing any such activity, they are aware, so that if certain situation does come up, they will be able to help you out to come out of this situation. So when you're surfing the internet, there are various things that you should be taking care of. Firstly, if a site has an invalid certificate, please do not visit that site. It could be that the certificate just expired, but when you're entering any information on such sites, your information is actually traveling clear text, and it can be easily seen by others. Always make sure you are accessing the HTTPS sites if possible, and especially when you're entering information, it is HTTPS sites only. Make sure all the software, not only the browser or the operating system, any software that you have on your device is always up to date. The vendors keep releasing these security fixes very often. It might be hassling at times to keep updating the software again and again, but please keep in mind that this is only for your protection. So don't delay it. Any security patch that comes in, please do update it immediately. One of the things that hackers generally do is they try to give a name. They try to create a site which looks very similar to the original site. For example, if you talk about Google, they create a site which looks like Google. If it is a banking site, they create a site which looks like that banking site, and it is very easy for them to just send a link over mail or over a post which looks very similar to that website URL. So it could be, instead of google.com, it could be google.anything.com, or it could be Google, GOO capital IE.com. And if we do not take care of such things, we might just end up clicking there. Certain websites are malicious to the extent that as soon as you go into log into that site, or rather just open that website, malicious software may get downloaded on our device. Or certain websites could actually emulate like a real website and capture the login credentials. So be very careful about what you're accessing. The best would be, instead of clicking on a link, you actually type the URL, or you actually use the URL which is bookmarked already. Um, just make sure that you understand you're visiting the right site before you start taking any action there. Okay, so when you generally when you're browsing the internet, sometimes you might just get a pop-up from and it might look that your antivirus software is saying that there is a virus on your computer, and you need to make sure that your computer is protected, so you should delete certain files or quarantine certain files. But if you closely watch, this is basically a URL. This is not your antivirus software UI, but this is a website which is giving you a look and feel of your Windows antivirus software, informing you about a virus which is infecting your computer. You can get similar images or a similar website created for your Mac as well. Apple Security Center informing you of a virus or a Trojan in your computer. Please do note, please be very careful about the small things that can give you a tip that this is not the actual antivirus which is giving you the warning. If there is a URL, this is really your browser. Make sure you're looking at the icon here, and do not just remove or download any files from such sites, because they might actually be the malicious software which is going to infect your computer. Okay, so as friends, as children, friends are very important in our lives, and we do end up sharing our friends or personal information with our friends, and all that's fine. But we also have to remember that overnight, these friends can have some animosity with us, and probably at a later date, they might just become our friends again. But during this period when friends become foes, it may just happen that in order to take some sort of revenge, the friends might start sharing all the information that they had about you, whether it is the passwords or images or videos, any information that they can share in order to hurt you. So please make sure that you're not sharing any passwords with your friends. You're not sharing your parents' passwords. You're not sharing any account passwords with your friends. When you're creating passwords for yourself, please make sure that the passwords are at least 12 characters long. They are a mix of uppercase and lowercase characters. They have symbols and numbers and punctuation, so that it becomes very complicated for anyone to hack it. Generally, try to have sentences with a mix of uppercase, lowercase, and all punctuations and numbers, which is easy for you to remember, and which is not easily guessable, not easily hackable by the software as well. Okay, so generally I like to have these sessions very interactive. I see that I was very fast today because I did not have all the interaction that I generally have with the children during these sessions. So I did keep my presentation short, and I would really like to have hear what questions children might have that I can answer. Vandana, do we have any questions over chat? Okay. Vanna, can you hear me?
Hi, Guncha.
Hi. Hi. I was wondering, are there any questions on the chat? I generally keep these presentations more interactive.
Right,
So,
right.
I,
I know. So I don't see any questions at the moment, but I am thinking that I'm sure we are going to have more questions. Let's give it some more time, and let's say give it a couple of minutes and see if there are any questions, because the presentation itself was so interesting. The examples that you gave about gamer and other thing, it was very, very interesting.
and probably what I could do is share some of the stories that I've been hearing during my interactions with the children. So one of the things that uh, I heard about from one of the child when I was visiting one school. He said that, ma'am, I would really like to use an application, and my it is not available in this country, although children in US can use it. So what is the harm if I want to if I use that application? And I was like, from where are you downloading this application? And he said it was certain site where it is hosted, and it has been a hacked application, but then I can comfortably download it, and I'm able to connect with my friends over there. So my suggestion to the children is, when it is a hacked it's a hacked software, how do you know to what extent it has been hacked? Either we should we need to get it validated somehow, but then if it is not validated, please do not try to download such software. And these days we feel that if you want to stay connected with our friends, apps are the only way, or the social media is the only way, and we feel that we are completely lost if social media is not there in front of us. But the best way of connecting with friends is to talk to them over the phone. Now in this pandemic you cannot meet them, so I'm saying connect to them over the phone. If you're not if this pandemic is over, you should be actually meeting them. That is the best way of connecting with your friends rather than social media. Don't get into the popularity contest that happens out there, where everyone is trying to get more number of likes, and that is all our focus remains, and our focus really goes away from making true friends and having real connection with them.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. That happens, and especially this pandemic has taught us a lot.
Oh, very true. In a way, I'm able to reach out to more children during the pandemic. And one of the reasons why I'm reaching out to more children during this pandemic is because now more and more children are over the internet. Parents are busy with their work. At times, they don't even know what the children are doing, right? Because they're so occupied with their own work. So it is very important that these children understand, when they are using the internet, when they are playing games, when they are having fun, they understand what are the different risks that are out there, and they should definitely try and help themselves and their friends at this time.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. There's nothing more than supporting each other. Yeah. So, thank you so much for giving this wonderful session, and we look forward to many more such sessions, Guncha.
Thank you, Vanna.